You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, heck just happened there. Welcome to the Packernet After Dark podcast. It doesn't matter anymore. If you'd like to participate in the show, you can call in 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. If anybody's got a beef, you go to the front of the line. I think we're done beefing. So, at least for now, I think we've settled that issue. With that said, we're just going to keep her rocking and rolling. So why don't we go ahead and get started with Beer Cheese Benny. One sec, here we go.
Okay, let me backtrack to my last call about Jordan Love. Maybe that's just not the right thing to say or think.
Maybe, I don't remember what you said.
About him just not being that good, because, I mean, dude, there's some receivers that dropped easy-ass passes, like, but still, the way I see it, he holds on to the ball too long, and he's been missing guys. I mean, like, I guess you can watch the tape.
This is where I would just interject again real quick. When we say, like, this is what he does, are we sure that we're saying this is what he does all the time? Or are we saying this is what he did in this last game and that's not good and it scared me? Because I don't personally recall him holding onto the ball too long in any other game this year except this one. Maybe Carolina. Again, those two are pretty similar in a lot of ways in terms of the issues. But again, just in an effort to clean up the language, not to be nitpicky, but to be accurate, right? Because there's a massive difference between saying he held on to the ball too long and he holds on to the ball too long. It doesn't seem like there's a big difference, but there is. One of them is he's a bust, and it's also an inaccurate statement. The other one is an accurate statement, and it's not super interesting outside of hopefully that doesn't persist. You know what I'm saying?
You probably see it. And yes, we can always bring up the O-line to defend Love, but at some point, something needs to change. You know, he throws these floaty passes, and it's like, against the Steelers, I remember he was just firing the ball, man. And
right, that's the point.
Like, that was like arguably his best game, like, that we've ever seen. And I just wonder if we can just do more of that, just quick firing and just him firing the ball and just being more confident like that. I don't know what.
Did you break into somebody's house? Is that why you're whispering? Perform your burglaries on your own time, all right?
It's going to take to get that again. But maybe the play calling in that was better. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe Love really doesn't trust his line. You know, you see some plays that, you know, Love just didn't throw the ball because, you know, he was calculating that it was too risky to throw some of these passes. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but he may have been too safe tonight with the ball. But our receivers have got to catch the ball. We cannot be doing this again like how last year where we just couldn't catch the ball. It was just so stupid, man. So I wouldn't say that Love's not worth the contract, because what were the Packers going to do? What were they really going to do? Were they just going to not sign him? Like, they had to sign him to that contract. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a quarterback. We'd be stuck with a career backup guy or whatever. So,
like Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones.
The Packers had no choice. And we know Love can be good. He's shown that he has. I just think that things aren't working in his favor, and the offense is not designed in certain situations for him to succeed. And we've just got to...
But again, that's another statement that only is true if the world was created 2 weeks ago. Right? So we got to stop forgetting everything that has happened.
Open it up, man. We've got to start passing more on first down and stop being so obsessed with the run. And I'm not saying stop the run. Stop running the ball. You have to run the ball. And I thought we did a good job running the ball and establishing it. But then it was just like we were still trying to establish it like late in the game. Like, dude, just freaking pass.
Well, it's funny because everybody says, well, I don't mean like never run, just not in situations I don't like it. And so far, I have heard you shouldn't run on first down from you. A lot of complaining about running on second down, that it's extremely predictable. He always runs on second down, so don't run on second down. We know you can't run on fourth down. That's not allowed. Even from 4th and 1, you can't run. So third down, I mean, that would be like the one time I would be a little skeptical of running, unless, again, it's third and short. And if it's not 4-down territory, third down is basically fourth down, right? It's your final down, so I don't think you can run on third down. When are we allowed to run? I think it's second and short. Might be the only time you're allowed to run. You have to pass on first down. If you get more than 5 yards on that pass, no first down, second down and short, then you can run, which sounds great. Not predictable at all. Super not predictable. You pass every time except second and short, and then you run. So, yeah, I think we got it. I think we nailed it.
Well, what's up, Brian? It's Kyle from Madison. It's been recommended. I haven't taken in any of the discourse on social media as of yet, but I'm sure it is hot. I have no doubt about that. And I'm sure LaFleur is taking a shellacking right now. Probably love to.
Yep.
And I think, especially LaFleur, I think that's fair. Love, I don't know. Did Love play bad? I don't know. Like, yeah, I think he turned down some stuff, maybe did a couple dumb things, but like I don't really feel like I remember him putting the ball in danger or, missing.
He was bad in a lot of different ways, and then there were some ways where he wasn't bad, although it wasn't that he was good. So, yeah, I don't think he super put the ball in harm's way, but as far as like how many good things did he do compared to bad things, I think it was just a bad day.
Too many throws. I know the receivers let him down a couple times, but anyway, maybe he was terrible. I got to rewatch it, I guess, but didn't seem like it. What it did seem like is look, I think there's a lack of imagination in play calling. I know that's your big thing you don't want to hear about, but.
And again, some people say it's a lack of imagination, and then you have guys like Orlovsky saying that there's too much imagination and they need to calm it down. So that's why I just listen to this stuff, and I'm sorry, I just roll my eyes. Like, I can't. This whole conversation just seems stupid to me.
It really does feel like, I don't want to say the league's onto him.
Especially when we do anything other than, like, basic, simple stuff, everybody freaks out. Why you got to do that? Why you got to be so weird about everything? Why can't you just run a normal run play or a normal pass play? What is with all these jet sweeps and end arounds, and what is with these crazy things? Like, why can't you just do normal stuff? And then if we do like a normal run on 4th and 1, it's like, where's the creativity? I can't handle this.
But like, dude, it's just like Fat Elvis out there. Like, just keep trotting out everybody knows what's coming. At the same time, though, I mean, look, the defense looks like a Super Bowl defense. Although I will caution, I'm not.
They do today, but they could give up 40 to the Giants, and then it's fire Halfley and all. It's just, just don't. We should just not even say stuff like that, because the defense is going to have a bad day, multiple bad days probably, right? Giving up 25 plus, probably 30 plus in instances. And then it's meltdown mode about the defense. And, so much for Can you believe idiots actually wanted to replace Matt LaFleur, who scored 40, with Halfley, who gave up 38 points? Like, can you even believe that garbage? Like, how stupid are people? And then it just goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And we have the same stupid discussions all over and over and over and over and over again.
Sure, Philly is that great of a team offensively.
They're not
feel like they are either. So at the end of the day, I'm not sure either of these teams are still standing at the end. But with that being said, like at some point, man, you run out of playmakers. You know, like, who the hell's out there? You got Wicks out there. He's like, what, a number?
Which also plays into creativity, right? The creativity gets taken down a notch when the playmakers go bye-bye. You have to simplify some things, not everything, but some things. For some guys, we got to kind of pare down the book a little bit.
3 in this league, maybe. And Watson, he's a number 1, but both those guys are limited in how many snaps they're getting. Then you got Bo Melton. I mean, at some point, man, you need playmakers. And, like, there weren't any. There was Jacobs.
Yeah, they're all hurt.
Love, and then sometimes Watson.
Everybody's hurt.
And then even when those two guys are running into each other on some crucial plays, like Keystone Cops out there.
That too.
I mean, like, man, we miss Kraft. I mean, and that there would never even have been a 4th down play for us to argue about if Kraft's in there. 'Cause he's not going to fall down when he catches the ball. He's going to bowling ball some guys and pick up that 1st down. Musgrave just, obviously we know, he catches it and he falls over. We know. But, I don't know, man. I think things can get better, but I'll tell you this. If we don't beat New York next week, I'm going to start worrying about us giving Dallas a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to go there. That's a must-win game. Anyway, talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even sit here and talk about, like, just tanking for a draft pick because we don't have any. I mean, we don't have a 1st-round pick unless you want to tank for a high 2nd, which I don't really think is a thing. So we're in it, man. It's freaking balls to the wall. We don't have a choice. We're going. So there you go.
Good morning, Packernet podcast.
What's up?
This is Beer Cheese Benny. Happy Misery Monday. Another one in a row. Second
Tuesday.
one in a row.
Oh, yeah, because the game was on Monday.
This has got to be some kind of sick, cruel joke.
2 in a row.
So
what are you going to do?
The whole thing where that ball that bounced off of Watson's head, what the hell's that, dude? I mean, like, honestly, in my opinion, if the ball hits you in the fucking head, sorry for cussing, how the hell did you not catch, like, where was Watson turning around? Like, turn around and catch the ball. Like, does he not know? I mean, I'm glad that he put his hands up, and he's all like, oh, and he basically prevented an interception. But to be honest, our defense is so good, I wouldn't have cared if he threw an interception there. They would have been way deep down there, or whatever. And honestly, it didn't matter anyway. So that's that. And then, Ryan, this is how bad it was.
All right.
It was so bad, everything was going so
How bad
wrong
was it?
that our effing punter couldn't even punt the ball correctly. I mean, literally, this dude's just punting it and giving him punting it into the end zone. Like, holy crap, dude. Every time. Like, just, like, oh, let's hit a bomb. Oh, let's try to hit it out of the stadium. Like, dude, oh my gosh, we couldn't pin him? Like, it's so annoying, man. Like, everything was just crap except for the defense. I literally can't even be mad at the defense. And I'm pissed that our defense was so good, man. They were so good.
Yeah, I hate that.
For nothing. Dude, whatever, man. I don't care anymore. Just watching every game now and just not giving a crap.
That's what you got to do.
Literally, next game, I'm just going to be like, all right, let's watch Packers. All right, hell yeah, dude. Let's see what's going to happen today. I don't really care what happens because it doesn't matter. Because I already know that they're not going to be prepared and they're not going to do what they need to do. They're not going to make the adjustments or adapt during the game. Defense, oh, you guys will be awesome. It'll be fun watching you. Maybe I'll only watch the defense. And then once they're on offense, like, I'll just be, like, out of the room.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have my wife tell me, like, oh, you can come back in the room now. We're back on defense. I'm like, oh, cool. But I don't know. I don't really care anymore, dude. It is what it is, and this is the team we got, and we have to deal with it. And it frickin' blows, but we have to deal with it. And hopefully they turn around. Maybe they can. Maybe they can turn around and win every game from here. Who knows? But probably not. Go Pack, go. Amen.
And again, let's not get super carried away here. Like, the woe is me stuff is a little crazy. With the, like, this is the team we're stuck with. How do we have to deal with something like this? Like, I mean, it's 2 losses in a row. Some teams go through like 5, 6, 7, 8 16 losses in a row. And that's their plight. But yeah, we had to endure 2, which is rare for us. But there's starving children in Africa too. So, all right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Daniel from California, how's it going?
Yo.
I just remember 2023 so vividly. And just remember how well Jordan played and how efficient the offense is. To the point where you got Amon-Ra St. Brown getting on a podcast and saying, like,
yeah, you don't want to mess with
I'm afraid of that
them.
offense. They're too efficient.
Yep.
And then just going from that place to last year where, yeah, there was some really high, like, times of high-end efficiency and just the running game and everything. And, like, I remember that Seattle game, and I was just like, all right, we're ready now. Let's go and do what we got to do, and then we just get stomped by the Vikings and the Lions. Not really. They were competitive, but not just going to this year, like, why can't we be a consistent team? I just don't get it. Like I don't think, like, the offensive line on paper was that bad going in. Like, Aaron Banks, like, he wasn't highly rated in a lot of ways, but he didn't seem horrible, especially some of his pass blocking stuff. And they're hitting him with some stunts and some late blitzes, and this guy's just giving pressure right to Jordan's face. I was just like, oh, come on. Well, I just think about, like, what we had, like, 2023 out of Jordan, and something you said about that is, like, these are those moments where it's like you have to capitalize because like, when you're playing this good, you have to win. And I was at that game, the 49ers game, and I was so upset when they didn't call that intentional grounding.
Oh yeah.
And all that stuff, because it's just like being on that much of a heater, and because to me, it doesn't feel that far away, right? I remember being at that game. It's almost 2 years ago now, but looking from there to here, it's just like, how do we, like, have a good offense? Like, I know we played good against the Steelers, but, like, even that was inconsistent. Everybody just the first half. It's like, oh yeah, you played a good half of football. It's like, can we, like, I don't know the last complete game except maybe that Seattle game of last year where we played a complete game all 4 quarters. Like, how do we, like, I just want consistency, man. Can we just, like, well, maybe right now we are getting consistently from this game.
Yeah, right. Be careful what you wish for.
Consistently bad, but I don't know. Let's get better. Please. Go back.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you wish for, man. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take. You know what I mean? To be able to get some better output. Now is a bad time to be asking for it, just based on, the situation with the injuries and whatnot. Again, it's not to say Matt LaFleur can't put something together, but part of getting a consistent offense is having a consistent offense out on that field. You know what I mean? And when you go from, having Reed to losing Reed and then having Tucker and then losing Tucker, and your offensive line shifts like every single week due to either injury to like Zach Tom and Elton Jenkins and whatnot, to, it's just one thing after another. So, again, this is an opportunity for a bounce back game to get your offensive pieces back together. In other words, let's build an offense with what we have right now. Hopefully we have Golden back, and so we'll have Dobbs and Golden and Watson. Hopefully. I don't know. And hopefully he can come up with a game plan around these guys. He's going to have to redesign the offense again. Which is a normal thing that you have to do, but I think there also needs to be a little bit of patience to see if he can do it. It has definitely been a frustrating year. I mean, inconsistencies happen, but being so consistently inconsistent is certainly a rarity. I mean, unless you're just a bad team, in which case that is what you see all the time, which is what we're hoping that we're not. So, I don't know. I mean, losing Tucker Kraft is brutal. When you look at it and say, can we pull out of this tailspin? I think the answer is yes, but did that do so much damage? Is there kind of a ceiling there? Even with no other injuries, maybe. Hopefully we can get this thing humming pretty good with Golden. Again, still very hopeful that he can become that guy. And honestly, I mean, that could just transform everything if they could just figure that out. I don't necessarily know or even think that that's going to be the solution, but we don't know what we don't know. And this is why we always say things, and then a week later we're like, oh, never mind. Now I think the opposite, because we just didn't imagine that all of a sudden this would happen. So we don't know what could happen, who could emerge. And again, maybe nobody. Maybe Sean Ryan at center is the answer. I don't freaking know. Maybe it's a catastrophe. Maybe Watson just becomes that dude and just goes off. Maybe we don't really get that much output until Reed comes back, and then it's freaking off to the races. But the one thing that I do know is that all of us, myself included, have a really bad tendency to zoom all the way in on what's happened recently, pretend that that's happened for a much longer period of time than it's happened, and then do the whole woe is me thing. Right? Why are we so bad all the time? It's like, bro, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were not talking like this. We were not saying this because it wasn't reality. And so all you're talking about is, you can't even say it's current reality because it's last week's reality. We don't know what this week's or next week's reality is. We're cherry picking last week and the week before that and then stopping there. Go ahead.
Person backdoor.
Thank you. So, again, I don't mean to be so lacking in analysis, but there really isn't much else to do once we've talked about this exhaustively, which again, I know I'm talking to Monday, Tuesday people who are just getting it off their chest for the first time, but for me, saying it for the 500th time, all we really can do at this point is say, okay, this is what happened, this is what we hope happens, now we just sit back and watch and see what happens.
Hey, this is Ben from Minnesota.
Yo.
So, Evan Williams is the best player on our team.
He's
Dude
good.
is a safety who plays linebacker. He gave up that one pass, whatever. It happens. But the way he met Saquon Barkley in the backfield over and over, he was in every single time there was a tackle, he was involved. We all know, I mean, the defense played great. There's no way around that. Defense played absolutely great. To shut down that offense is amazing. Offense needs to get better. We all know that. I just kind of wanted to call in and give a little appreciation to Jeff Appley, defense, and Evan Williams, who is an absolute Also, do you see Wyatt chase down Jalen Hurts? A man that big shouldn't be able to do that.
That dude can move.
That's awesome.
That boy can book it.
All right. Hopefully there's not too many negative calls. Have a good one.
Well, and it is important to point this stuff out, too, because, again, and I know it hasn't materialized. I mean, the defense has. But this is becoming like my new thing as we get closer to the game, which is coming up now. And that is to sit back and admire our team. Now, who we admire is different. Some people maybe are not interested in admiring Jordan at the moment. Fine, that's your prerogative, I guess. But are you still excited about Watson? Are you still excited about Golden? Maybe not because of this, that, or the other. But I mean, if he is as good as you think he is, and I think he is, why can't he? You know, think about how excited we've been about that guy. You know, and again, Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness is coming back this week. Thank you, buddy. Devontae Wyatt, who is a freak. I will always and forever tell the story about how in the combine when they were training, he got moved over to the linebacker group because he was too fast. He is a freak of nature. He is the exception to the rule when it comes to, I wish Gutekunst would stop just drafting all these freaks because we just need good players. Look at Wyatt. Look at Watson, right? These are those freaks that when they pan out, they pan out. And this is assuming they can stay healthy. So we got a lot to be excited about. We have good players. We have a smart offensive mind, and I'll leave it at that. Whether that's being materialized or utilized or whatever is maybe up for debate. But and then we got freaking Halfley. I don't know for how much longer, but we got Halfley. All right, so plenty of reason to be excited. Maybe we get smoked by the Giants and then we're pissed, but at the end of the day, you get to watch your team again, and that is pretty exciting. I can't wait to sit down and find Micah on the field and be like, oh, there he is. Come on, Micah. Come on, Micah. Go get him. I can't wait. Now, the sacks have not been producing, which, again, the pressures have been fantastic in aiding us in keeping these scores extremely low. But let's be honest, sacks are exciting and they're fun. But yeah, man, Wyatt is a freak. And Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney are incredibly good safeties. And they're Green Bay Packers, and that's freaking awesome. So excited to get to watch those boys again. Again, I don't know how the season goes, but I know I get to watch them, and I'm excited about it. And I'm ready to hopefully see these guys go out and wreak some havoc.
Ryan, I've been listening since 2019. I missed 2018, but I don't know. I love you. Just rant every day, dude. Come on, just do it, please. I love your rants more than anything. Like the PFF days, they're fun when like oh yeah, I want to hear how we dominated. We did good, but the PFF days when we suck, I could care less.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we just suck every week now. But a good rant from you, dude. They're the best. And you're catching yourself. It's just like I'm sorry because I know you're in pain from watching this disgusting football that we're watching on offense, but it's pretty good, dude. I just wanted to tell you that. Bye.
It always cracks me up because I think of my podcast as people who show up every day in hopes of me just like doing a rant, and then when I do something else like intellectual, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, cool, dude. That's cute." Not really what I came here for. You know what I mean? It's kind of like people watching NASCAR just waiting for a crash. Like, oh, did you see how good of a driving job he did? And they changed the tires and drove in that circle like that, and he passed them, and it was crazy. It's like, yeah, I freaking guess. I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to watch people crash, man. That's all I know. But I appreciate y'all showing up anyways. I got to tease you with the rants once in a while so you keep coming back, I guess. Although the Packers make it easy sometimes, I will say that. Chris from Alabama, what's going on?
What's going on, Ryan? Chris from Alabama. Just wanted to wait until the next day to give a phone call. Yeah, that was a bad offensive outing from us. Basically a bad offensive outing from both teams. That was one of those. That game that took me back to my childhood, man. 10-7 ball game. Defensive battle all the way through on both sides. Both defenses pretty much held served and did what they're supposed to do. But in the end, we couldn't handle our business when we had a chance at the end to go down to even time, take the game, or even win the game. Had plenty of time, basically 3 timeouts. Everything was set up perfect for that, but couldn't get the job done, man. And that C-type, boy, you go from 2 to doggone 8 real quick on it.
Mm-hmm.
Third in the division, which I ain't really tripping on. It's basically a 3-way tie between us, Chicago and Detroit. Still got a lot of ball game to play, but it is concerning. The injuries are starting to pile up, and it is getting kind of concerning. That early bye might be coming back to bite us in the butt. Really don't too much like those early buys or the real late buys. The best buys to me are just like in the middle of the season, week 8, 9, 10 or something, but that's neither here nor there, man. Ain't nothing too much you can say about that one. This just was a tough loss. That game was there for the taking. We could do absolutely nothing to help our defense out. And next week, hey, going into New York, we can't downplay that. And that's going to be out to get a get-right game. Yeah, we're supposed to win, but we just really need to go out there and worry about how this offense is executed. We need to tighten all the way up and fast because the NFC is tight. We ain't got time to be going on no type of losing streak. So I already lost 2. That needs to be it. We need to tighten it on up. But yeah, I just had to get that across. I'm already knowing all the runners are going to get higher and higher. At this point, I ain't even going to fight on it. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
That's how you feel. I just want these guys to go ahead and start executing this offense a little bit better and just you're going to have to deal with these injuries, and we just going to have to get right fast. I'm going to leave it up to everybody else who to fire, who to keep, all that. I ain't in that. I ain't got the energy today, but go Pack, go man, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, and it gets like that too, as far as, I mean, obviously I still fight. I don't want to, and I'd certainly do less of it. But I mean, in general, my mentality on it is just kind of, what's the point? I mean, even if I disagree, sometimes I can't let it go, but even if I disagree with the again, the Matt LaFleur stuff or whatever, sometimes it's just not worth fighting. It's like, I don't agree with how you got there, but you know what? Fine. And also, like, why am I going to spend my energy defending the team? Like, oh, Jordan's trash. It's like, well, dude, he's not trash, but like, am I going to expend all my energy defending the guy that played that bad? For what? Like, to like nitpick the nuance between, like, I don't really know how good he's going to be. I don't really know long-term what he is. I don't know how this season is going to go, how consistent or inconsistent he is. But I don't think he's bad, and I know he's been good overall this year. You know, like, how much energy am I going to expend trying to, like, narrow in on that nuance that they're not going to listen to anyways? It's just not freaking worth it, you know? Like you said, I just don't have the energy. So, look, when we lose, especially when the rest of the NFC North is just dominating, not the freaking Vikings because they're stupid, but we just got to wait, man. It's not our week. It's just going to be a bad week. That's it. It's going to be a bad week. We need to beat the Giants. We need Philadelphia to beat the crap out of the Lions, and whoever the heck is playing the Bears need to beat them. And we are going to feast, my friends. We're going to feast. I don't care if we win by a half a point somehow. If those things happen, if we win and the rest of the NFC North loses, we are going to just party like it's 1999, dude. We're just going to be the most obnoxious people in the world. I'm going to be obnoxious. I'm going to act like we won the Super Bowl and everybody else just had their freaking teams canceled out of the NFL. I'm going to talk so much trash about a 1-point win against a bad team because now we're beating you. And I just want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy this week because next week might suck again. And this sucks. So it's the longest weeks in the world. If we win, it's like 3 hours long. And then we go play another game. And then if we win, it's another 3 hours. If we lose, it is a month until our next game. Freaking miserable. All right, let's take our final break. I don't think we've done that yet. And then we'll fire off with AA Ron.
Hey, Ryan. It's AA Ron from Eau Claire. This is the morning after that Monday night game against the Eagles, and I'm disappointed like everybody else. I was frustrated watching the game like everybody else with offense, obviously. And I guess what I'm sort of thinking about is it just seemed like kind of a few things are a bit of a mess, and I'm not really sure what to make of it. So, like, the offense obviously seems just completely out of sorts, like they're not on the same page or something. I'm not qualified to say why, but I don't know what's going on, but we all see it.
Yeah.
It seems like there's plays to be made, but somehow it's just not happening. It seems like, I mean, you'd think we have enough players to at least get some rhythm plays going and we still have Christian Watson out there. We still have Musgrave. We still have Josh Jacobs. I mean, some teams, all they need is a few, core players, and they can move the sticks. And we did move the sticks sometimes throughout the game, but I don't know what the problem is exactly. But we all see it. We've all seen it for a few weeks now, and unfortunately, that's sort of been a problem over the last couple of years. Is just very hot and cold offense. And then the other thing is the special teams with the kicker. So they're kind of in a bit of a pickle because of the whole, we want to keep Brandon McManus, and yet we have this young kicker who's been kicking lights out, who's got a huge leg, but he hasn't had as good of a track record, as Brandon McManus in the past. But I felt like they probably would have had a better chance to win that game with Haversick kicker, just because, they have a perfect excuse to put McManus on IR and just give Haversick a chance.
Sure.
So I don't know what they're going to do moving forward, but to me it seemed like that was a game where a couple of field goals would have made a huge difference, and then just something has to get figured out with this offense. But let me know what you think about that.
So I've talked a lot about this in terms of my unwillingness to have a conversation about who's the better long-term option. The thing I am willing to have a conversation about is how hurt is McManus, and should he be out there when he's hurt? And again, I'm trying not to break my own rules here and speculate that the reason is stupidity, but I'll admit I'm struggling to come up with reasons why. It certainly seems like he's hurt, and the team is acting as though he's hurt, and they're choosing not to kick in situations due to him being hurt. And we just heard, I was going to mention this on the podcast, I just never really got to it. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know, but there was some report, I don't have it in front of me right now, but it was something to the effect of, he's healthy now. Like, what do you mean he's healthy now? Has he not been? Like, how bad has this been? Like, he's starting to feel good or something to that effect. Like, what the heck are we doing? And then you think, okay, well, let's assume they're not just stupid. Why would you rather have a hurt McManus instead of a healthy Haversick? And my thought would be, well, Haversick's been a bad kicker his entire career. Perhaps he's just not looking very good, and he's not very good, and they don't trust him. Then why are you keeping him around? Well, because we need a guy around in case McManus can't kick. But if he can kick, even while injured, then we want him to kick. And I can certainly understand that rationale, but you also have to understand you are going to look like a complete idiot if McManus is looking bad. And then if McManus is looking bad, and the fans then find out that McManus is probably looking bad because he's still very much in pain, boy, is it going to raise questions, especially since Haversick was perfect. And in pretty spectacular ways was he perfect. I don't obviously buy that. I think it's complete nonsense. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is going to be perfect. And it's such an unbelievably small sample size that to even speculate what he is, okay, he's not perfect, but what is he? Is he good? Is he bad? Is he this? Is he that? I would assume he's pretty much what he's always been. I guess I'm surprised the amount of people that believe, and maybe it's just a matter of like, I don't know who this Haversick guy is, but apparently he's a stud. Maybe he's like a new rookie guy or something. I'm surprised the amount of people who have seemingly convinced themselves that what Haversick did in the little bit of time that he actually kicked for us is just what he is and what he always will be, and therefore he should be our kicker. Again, I tend to think that that's probably people doing that thing where we pretend the earth was invented, at the start of Haversick's first kick, and we just don't pay attention to everything else, but I don't know. So them's my thoughts on that. I would rather have a healthy Havrisik than a hurt McManus, but I don't know. I guess we're not even having that discussion. It's McManus. McManus is the starter. I mean, I guess, and this could be one of those things too, where you just genuinely disagree with the team. It could be a situation where it's almost like policy, not like official, like we can't do something else, but just the way we operate is that if you're a starter and you can go, then you start. You know, if Christian Watson is there and he's healthy, or excuse me, he's hurt, but he can go, then he's going out there and he's going to start. And that's kind of the situation with the kicker, I guess, where it's a yes or no thing. There's no in between. It's not but it's kind of I can, but it's kind of tingly and it might impact my accuracy. I don't really know. They're not going to say yes, he can, but we're not going to. I guess I don't know. But I think for me, it's to the point since we've learned to my satisfaction that Havrisik will not just be taking McManus's job. We just need McManus back healthy is the bottom line. He needs to get healthy. He needs to get his mind right. He needs to not be up in his head now because he's starting to miss kicks and all that. And we just need our kicker back. That's what I think.
Hey, Eco. So just warming up the car before I go into work Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to say, man. I mean, yeah, it was a loss. I think we just witnessed two of, like, the best defenses just going at it, you know, toe-to-toe. And honestly, both offenses looked kind of crap. You know, the Eagles had that one run where they had a run and a pass. We couldn't do nothing. I haven't even looked at stats. I know Love had one or 0 yards at halftime. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I know there's some people missing, but come on, there's some people there. You know, Wicks was back. He looked good for a second. Watson, I don't know if he was having a problem getting open. You know, I hate doing this, but like, I don't want to, after 3 years of Love, and I'm gonna go like, can Love just not make? I don't get it because he's made such great decisions in the past. And you know, typically I'll have a feeling, and I'll be like, this sucks, and this guy was horrible. And then when you do your thing where you go throughout the plays, I'm like, okay, I was being a little too much. You know, yeah, the guy had a bad day because he had, you know, defenders' face masks in his eyeballs all day, and that might be the case with Love. But I know he's pressured a lot, you know. So I mean, it was really kind of an amazing defensive game. Our defense played very good for so long. Evan Williams, I thought, almost like had his game, man. That dude was everywhere. There was a run earlier when Barkley was, I think, going to left side. Some missile comes flying in on the side, and I didn't see what it was. But who was that? Oh, it's Evans.
Yeah.
Of course, he had that awesome read where he just came from the way back and just shot up the middle and just caught Barkley all by himself. You know, single tackle on him, which ain't the easiest. So Williams, he's just it's getting better and better every week. I think so. But just offensively, still, you know, am I mad at the offense for not scoring a crap ton of points? Yes. But they also played against an amazing defense, so I don't know what to say. I'm not really horribly mad about the loss. I think, you know, obviously it hurts our chances for the playoffs, but, you know, there's a long season left. And, gosh, if our offense would just freaking hit some, I don't think I knew. I don't know. They seem to run the ball too much, and then they seem to run the ball good, and then they pass the ball too much, and then they pass. I don't know. It was just a crazy game. The refs were mad. I mean, they missed one for them. They missed one for us. They got a little ticky-tacky on us a couple times. But it wasn't the worst ref game. I don't know. But I forget stuff, too, so.
It is cool, like with him and even like with Bullard, where whether they're elite or just, you know, not a liability, it's nice to just have guys where I don't really think of them as just like rookies anymore, where it's kind of, I don't really know what we're going to get from them. Your focus is elsewhere, right? Your focus is, oh man, I hope frickin' Hobbs or Nixon or somebody else doesn't like botch this game, or I hope Quay doesn't have a bad day, or whatever the case is. there's certain guys, and even quite a little bit is kind of settled into where you don't worry about them as much. But it is just cool to have these guys that I haven't worried about, thought about, and then when you see them, it's usually them just like cleaning up on a good play, and it's like, oh, thanks, dude, appreciate that, well done. That was good. That was a good thing you just did there. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty happy with what we're getting from Evan and some other guys.
Yeah, I don't know how much work cut off. The refs weren't horrible. Play calling, I don't know. It's kind of like what you said yesterday. When they go for it on fourth down, people get mad when he doesn't go for it on fourth down. He's not trying to win. So I don't have an issue with the play calling. I think that we could have passed a little bit more, but I'm just going off memory. You know, those times in the game I thought, okay, we're going to pass it down, and we're still running it. And like, dude, why aren't we passing the ball? But maybe it's because their defense is locking us down. I don't know. You know, like I said, I'm not staring at an all 22 with all the positions numbered and stuff. I have to go by memory and what I happen to see during the game live, which is 0. But like ultimately, yeah, it hurts our chances in the end. It hurts them a little. There's still a lot of season left. If they could just get the offense to play halfway decent with this defense, still, you know, I mean, we've seen, you know, really good defensive teams win Super Bowls scoring 15 points. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the offense. I'm definitely not going to offer any suggestions because I have no idea. I think sometimes we, as people, fans, think we know more than we do. I kind of was thinking about calling in yesterday, but, you know, all the people complaining about LaFleur, the play calling, it's like, we know, like, he has forgotten more about football than we've ever remembered, you know?
Yeah.
And if he's doing, like, the Bo Melton thing, why was Bo Melton out there so much last night? I don't know, maybe because Savion doesn't know the plays. You know, Bo Melton probably does, and yeah, Melton didn't do himself any favors. He had that one good catch, but he had a couple bad ones, and it was just a crazy game, you know? So, I don't know. Season ain't over. We win. We still are in good shape. And, I don't know, go Pack go, man. Just kind of, you know, defensively was amazing. I wish our offense could have done something. And as to why that happened, I don't know. So I'm going to continue driving to work. So y'all have a great day.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue going to bed, I think. That's what I'm going to do. Appreciate all the callers. Probably won't be able to get through all of them. We might start at the top tomorrow just to get the most recent ones and work our way back and see what we can do. But otherwise, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.